What did you make of those Microsoft results?
Well, you guys are making a very good point. These stocks have been priced so high at this point. The valuations are very, very high. And these companies are really shifting their business models quite substantially. Microsoft hit record capital expenditures in this quarter. Their spending is up 50% from a year ago. And what people want to see from that is they want to see acceleration in their growth. So the revenues were actually not that bad. Revenue overall was up about 16%. The cloud computing revenue was up 34%. But they signaled that that's going to slow down in the quarters ahead. That's not what investors wanted to see. They want to see these AI investments really paying off at this point, helping with an acceleration in that revenue. So that was a little bit of a pessimistic note, and that's what you're really seeing with the stock price, I think, today.
Yeah, well, I mean, even though AI is getting us to spend longer on Facebook and on Instagram, it's what happens next when you up that capex. Let's talk a little bit more about Meta. When you dig into this, daily average users a little bit lighter than estimated, but I think the market is more focused on this capex number that they have upped, and also the reality about Reality Labs.
That's exactly right. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg has been making these huge investments in technologies that he thinks are going to help the company in the future. Referring to the metaverse, a few years ago, he was completely decided that that was going to be the big bet for the company. We're seeing that with Reality Labs, big losses in that business. And now also they're spending a lot of money on AI, like these other companies we've been talking about, Microsoft and Alphabet too. These expenditures are very pricey for the companies. They're hitting spending levels that they have never done really in the past, partly because the NVIDIA chips are expensive. They're trying to build out data centers. These are things these companies just didn't have to do in the past because they were capital-light businesses. And now Meta is determined to make these investments and hopefully benefit from it in the future.
Peter, unfortunately, we don't have enough time to talk about all of the plethora of tech because we get more today: Apple, Intel, Amazon. What do you think in there is going to be the most interesting?
Well, there are big questions for all of the companies that you mentioned. I'd say for Apple in particular, they've been trying to sell Apple Intelligence. They want it to be their version of AI. They hope that that helps convince customers that it's time to buy a new iPhone. They want to sell these the new iPhone 16 in particular. For Intel, they just have to get back onto solid financial footing. They've had so many problems so far. Investors are concerned about their foundry business in particular, but also their ability to compete in processors and in AI in particular. So they want to see that there's some solid financial foundation underneath the company at this point so that they can get back to growing, get back to expanding. It really is the most important chip maker for the U.S. government as they're trying to build up this domestic capability that's so important strategically in the future.